Hello, my dear students. Today we are discussing the important question answer from the How do organisms reproduce chapter. I hope all are ready to listen the class. Okay. Let us start with the first question. Multiple choice question. You have to select the correct answer here. Asexual reproduction takes place through the budding in amoeba, yeast, Plasmodium, leishmania. Here, budding type of the asexual reproduction. Is it takes place in amoeba? No, in amoeba, binary fission. Amoeba reproduce through binary fission. Then Plasmodium, multiple fission. Leishmania also binary fission. So the budding type of the asexual reproduction takes place in yeast. The correct answer is option B, yeast. Next question. Which of the following is not a part of the female reproductive system in human beings? Which of the following is not a part? Ovary, uterus, vas deferens, fallopian tube. Here, ovary, it is also part of the female reproductive structure. Uterus also part of the female reproductive structure. But vas deferens, this is the part of the male reproductive structure, right? So here they asked which is not a part of the female reproductive system, that is option C, vas deferens, and yes, fallopian tube also a part of the female reproductive system. Correct answer is option C, vas deferens. The anther contains sepals, ovules, pistil, pollen grains. So anther contains sepals, no, ovules, no, pistil, that is the female reproductive structure, anther, they contain the pollen grains. They produce the pollen grains. So option D. Anther contains option D, pollen grains. Next question. Biological process that has been shown in the diagram is, which biological process is shown in this diagram? Here, this is the planaria. Planaria, the reproduction, asexual reproduction in planaria is shown in the figure. And here, option A, production of progenies by fragmentation method. This is not a fragmentation method. Production of progenies by multiple fission method. So this is not a multiple fission method. Regeneration of tissues by development in the specialized cells. So the correct answer is option C, regeneration of tissues by development in specialized cells. Asexual reproduction by vegetative propagation, that is not a correct answer. Correct answer is option C, regeneration of tissues by development in specialized cells. Next question. In humans, the testes are located outside the lower abdomen in the scrotum because to protect testes from the mechanical shocks, to increase the production of sperms, to maintain the secretion of testosterone hormone, to maintain the temperature required for the sperm production. Here, option A, to protect the testes from the mechanical shocks. No, it is not a correct answer. To increase the production of sperms, this is also not correct answer. To maintain the secretion of testosterone hormone, no. But to maintain the temperature required for the sperm production. So the testes are located outside the lower abdomen in the scrotum because to maintain the temperature required for the sperm production. Option D is the correct answer. Next question. Part of a flower in the plant that develops into fruit is option A petal, option B stigma, option C ovary, option D style. Here, the part of the flower that develops into a fruit. Here, this is the stigma and style. This is the part, bulged part, that is the ovary, right? So this ovary that will develop into fruit. After fertilization, the ovary will develop into fruit. Petal, stigma and style, they fall off. The correct answer is option C, ovary. Next question. In humans, sexually transmitted viral infection is option A, AIDS, option B, syphilis, option C, tuberculosis, option D, gonorrhea. Sexually transmitted viral infection. AIDS, yes, it is the sexually transmitted disease. And syphilis, gonorrhea, these all are the not virally transmitted disease. These are sexually transmitted disease. But here, sexually transmitted viral infection. Here, gonorrhea and syphilis, these are bacterial infection. Okay, bacterial infection. But AIDS, which is the sexually transmitted viral infection. Which virus caused the AIDS? That is the HIV. Next question. Part of the flower that develops into fruit and part of the seed that develops into root respectively. Part of the flower that develops into fruit. Part of the flower that develops into fruit, that is the ovary. Yes, ovary in the option A, and in option C and in the option D we can see the ovary. We can eliminate the option B, plumule and radicle. And part of the seed that develops into root. Which part of the seed that develops into root? Plumule? No, plumule will develop into shoot. And plumule and the radicle. So that is the wrong answer. Ovary and the radicle is the correct answer. Ovary and ovule will not develop into a root. So the correct answer is ovary and radicle. Radicle develops into a root. Next question. The correct sequence found in the process of sexual reproduction in a flower is pollination, fertilization, seed, embryo. Option B, seed, embryo, fertilization, pollination. Option C, embryo, seed, pollination, fertilization. Pollination, fertilization, embryo, seed. The correct sequence found in the sexual reproduction. The first step is the pollination. Yes, the first step is the pollination. That is the correct answer. And after pollination, the fertilization takes place. Yes, fertilization takes place. Then there is a development of the embryo. The fertilized zygote develop into embryo. Then it develop into a seed. So seed, it will not develop into seed. So the correct answer is option D, the pollination, fertilization, embryo and seed. Next question. The embryo gets nutrition from the mother's blood with the help of special part is called a fallopian tube. Option B, ovary. Option C, uterus. Option D, placenta. Which part, from which part the developing embryo gets nutrition from the mother's blood? The fallopian tube, which is not correct, which is the part of the female reproductive system. Ovary which produces the ova, that is also not correct answer. Uterus, where the development of the embryo takes place, but it is connected to the placenta which helps the embryo to get the nutrition from the mother's blood. The correct answer is option D. Next question. The common passage for both sperms and urine in human male reproductive system is urethra, ureter, vas deferens urinary bladder, which the common passage for both sperms and the urine. So in male reproductive system, we can see there is a common passage is found, where the transportation of the sperms and urine takes place in a same part, that is option A, urethra. Option B, ureter, vas deferens urinary bladder. The correct answer is urethra. Next question. The type of reproduction found in Spirogyra is option A, budding, option B, fragmentation, option C, vegetative reproduction, option D, spore formation. Here, the type of reproduction found in Spirogyra. Budding is the type of reproduction that is not found in Spirogyra. Budding we can observe in the Hydra. Fragmentation, yes, the fragmentation type of the reproduction that we can see in the Spirogyra. And vegetative reproduction we can see in some plants, and spore formation that is in the rhizopus. In the rhizopus we can see the spore formation. The correct answer is fragmentation. Next question. Reproduction is essential for living organisms in order to keep the individual organism alive, fulfill their energy requirement, maintain growth, continue the species generation after generation. Here, reproduction is essential. Why it is essential? To continue the species generation after generation. To continue the generation is the correct answer. Option D. Next question. In the below figure, part A, B, C are sequentially A, this is the part A, and this is B, and this is C, right? Here, A, cotyledon, plumule, radicle. First one is not cotyledon. It is a plumule, the part of the plant which develop into shoot, that is called as a plumule. So A is plumule. So in the B and C we can see the plumule option. A is the plumule, then B is the cotyledon. B is not radical, B is the cotyledon and C is the radical. So the correct answer is plumule, cotyledon, radical, option C. Next question Nodi. Which of the following disease is transmitted sexually? Sexually transmitted disease here. Kala azar, jaundice, cholera, syphilis. So which of the following disease is sexually transmitted disease? Here syphilis, gonorrhea, AIDS, these are the sexually transmitting diseases. So here correct answer is option D. Remaining all are, they are not transmitted sexually. Next question. Which among the following is not the function of the testes at the puberty? First one, formation of germ cells. Second one, secretion of testosterone. Third one, development of placenta, secretion of estrogen. Here, which of the following is not a function of testes at the time of puberty? Formation of germ cells, secretion of testosterone, yes. Development of placenta, that is not correct one. Secretion of estrogen, that is not also function of the testes. So we can say 1 and 2. Sorry, not the function. Here they are asking not the function of the testes, that is development of placenta and secretion of the estrogen, that is third and fourth one. So these are the not the function of the testis, but formation of germ cells, secretion of testosterone, that is the function of the testis. So the correct answer is option C. Next question. Which of the following is a contraceptive? Contraceptive means which are used to prevent the pregnancy. Option A, copper T. Option B, condom. Option C, diaphragm. Option D, all of these. Yes, copper T, condom, diaphragm, these all are used as a contraceptive means to prevent the pregnancy in a different method. Okay, so the correct answer is all of these. Next one. Which among the following diseases is not sexually transmitted disease? Syphilis, hepatitis, HIV/AIDS, gonorrhea. Here, which is not transmitted sexually. A hepatitis, which is not a sexually transmitted disease. Remaining all are sexually transmitted diseases. Next question. Which of the following options correctly shows the path that sperms take place? They are released from the male reproductive system. Option A, testes, ureter, urethra, penis. Option B, testes, vas deferens, ureter, penis. Option C, testes, ureter, vas deferens, penis. Testes, vas deferens, urethra, penis. Which is the correct answer here? So they are released by the testes. First step is correct. Then they move in the vas deferens. Yes. So testes, vas deferens, directly they will not move to the ureter. They will not move in the ureter. Here testes, vas deferens is correct. Then urethra, penis, ureter, penis. So here they pass through the vas deferens, urethra, then penis. Option D is the correct answer. Next question. Which event will likely occur in the ovaries of female after attaining the puberty? Fertilization, synthesis of eggs, production of eggs, growth and development of the embryo. After the when the which of the following event will occur in the ovaries of females after attaining the puberty? After attaining the puberty, fertilization will not take place. Growth and development of the embryo, that will also not take place here. So the production of eggs, option C, the production of eggs takes place after attaining the puberty. So these are some multiple choice questions. Next, we are discussing the 1 mark questions. Okay, important questions. Write 2 examples for the organisms that reproduce by binary fission. Here, amoeba, and leishmania, which are reproduced through the binary fission, and some bacteria also reproduce through the binary fission. This is the 1 mark question. Please note down the question. Next question. In males, testes are located outside the abdominal cavity in scrotum. Why? Note down the question. Testes are located in scrotum because sperm formation requires a lower temperature than the body temperature. The correct answer is next question. Name the any two asexual mode of reproduction. Asexual mode of reproduction, that is binary fission, then fragmentation, or budding. Any two methods you can write. Budding, vegetative propagation. So these all are the asexual mode of reproduction. Name the organism which reproduce by budding process. Name the organism which reproduce by the budding process here. Yeast and hydra. These organisms reproduce by the budding process. Next question. What is asexual reproduction? What is the meaning of the asexual reproduction? Here, single parent is involved in the production of the new organisms. Without fusion of the male and female gametes, the new organisms produced. Single parent is involved. Without fusion of the male and female gamete. Without fusion of male and female gamete, the reproduction takes place, that is called as a asexual type of the reproduction. Name the plant which propagate through its leaves. In some plants, we can observe the vegetative propagation, means vegetative parts of the plants which are able to produce new plants. So here, the leaves of the plants also used for the vegetative propagation, that is nothing but the bryophyllum. Next question. Name any two unisexual flowers. Unisexual flowers. Here, papaya and watermelon. papaya and watermelon, they are called as a unisexual flowers because they contain only male or female reproductive structure, not both, only male or female reproductive structure. Hence, they are called as a unisexual flowers. Very important. Give an example for bisexual flower, that is the hibiscus flower. Hibiscus. So that is the bisexual flower which contain both male and female reproductive structure. Hibiscus and mustard. One more example is mustard. What is the function of the prostate gland and the seminal vesicle? Please note down this question. What is the function of the prostate gland and the seminal vesicle? Prostate and the seminal vesicle, prostate gland and the seminal vesicle add their secretions so that the sperms are in a fluid which makes their transport easier, and this fluid also provides the nutrition for the sperm for swimming. Next question. What is menstrual cycle? In female body, blood and mucus flows out every month through the vagina is termed as menstruation. Note down the question. What is menstrual cycle? Next question is, draw a label diagram of the longitudinal section of the flower. Here, this question will be asked for 2 mark question. Very important. Please note down this longitudinal section of the flower where you have to label all the parts: ovary, sepals, petal, then style, stigma, anther, filament. So everything you have to label here. What are the functions performed by the testes in human beings? What are the functions of testes? Note down the answer. The male gametes sperms are produced by the gonads, the testes. Testes also produce hormone called testosterone, which is responsible for the secondary sexual characters developing at the time of puberty in males. Note this question. Reaching to sexual maturation is an essential event with respect to mammals like humans. Substantiate this statement. After reaching the sexual maturation, so in mammals like human beings, you can see the reproduction process takes place after reaching the sexual maturation, right? So before the sexual maturation, uh, there is no production, there is no reproduction takes place. So this is very important step. Reaching to sexual maturation is very essential event, because after reaching the sexual maturation, so they are able to produce the male and female gametes, and they are able to give birth to the new organism. So this is a very important step. Sexual maturation is the very important step in the human beings. Note down the question. Next question. What is pollination? What are the changes that occur in the flower after pollination? What is pollination? Please note down the question. Transfer of pollens from the stamen to the stigma is called pollination. Ovule develops a tough coat and becomes seed. Ovules that develop into seed. Then ovary grows rapidly and ripens to form the fruit. Ovary forms the fruit, and petal, sepal, stamen style stigma, they shrivel and fall off. And seeds contain the embryo, that is the future plant, which develops into seedling under the suitable conditions. So these are the some changes occur after the fertilization. Please note down the answer properly. Next question. Name the reproductive parts of the flower and explain its function. Please note down this question. Name the reproductive parts of the flower and explain its function. Here, stamen, that is the male reproductive part, formed of anther and filament. It produces yellow colored sticky pollen grains. It produces male germ cells. Pistil, that is the female reproductive part. It has three parts, that is stigma, style and ovary are the three parts of the pistil. And stigma, here stamen, so we can draw like this. So stamen, so this is the filament, and the yellow colored pollen grains are produced in the anther, and this is called as the anther. Here these pollen grains, they form the male gametes, that is the male reproductive system. Then pistil, stigma, style and this is the ovary. So here totally together it is called as a pistil, stigma, style, ovary. Stigma, style, ovary are the part of the pistil, and which is the terminal part, that is the stigma, which receives the pollen grains, and style is the middle part where the pollen tube germinate inside the style, and ovary which contain the female ovule, and ovule which contain the egg cell. Okay, that is the female gamete, that is the egg is the female gamete is present inside the ovule. So this is about the female reproductive structure. Please note down this. Okay. Yes, dear students, I will stop the class here. I will continue in the next class. Okay, please note, make the note of this question.